What's that? Well, we're live right now. Well, I should have given you a countdown. I apologize. That's my mistake. I know, I know. You keep an eye out on my work email over there, okay? I know. Hello, everybody. It's Brian, and my co-host is being a bit surly right now. So yeah, happy affiliate anniversary. Apparently, we're 3 years old. So yeah. Hello. Oh, thank you so much, there, Lady P. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you. Using your Prime Gaming, by the way. I don't mention that enough. If you have a Amazon Prime account, you get one free subscription you can give to somebody. So, if you don't use Twitch, you log in once a month. I said once a month. Just one, even if it's only one time. Anyway, and you can, give us a free subscription and we get cash and it doesn't cost you anything. It comes with your Amazon Prime account. So awesome. Can't see audio or video. Uh-oh. Somebody else tell me if I'm really? Okay. Whew. Okay. Hey, Walt. Check your settings. I would have freaked out if it might be you. There we go. Okay. Because I'm also streaming on YouTube. So, whew, okay. Okay, good. Thank you, Walt. Awesome. Glad you're here. So, let me know. Okay. The delay on YouTube just gets me every time. So, yeah, welcome. It's Tuesday. Are you gonna get down? Yeah. I think sometimes people just come for you and to hell with Brian and all the security stuff, right? You're so ornery. Sunday night, did my stream, was working with XCP. Oh, you're going to go see... Oh, you know what? I talked a little bit about Dune on Sunday night, but I won't get too nuts. But I'm not one of those people that go like, oh my God, you must go see this, because there are some real Dunophiles out there that are like, they didn't, they're not doing this right, or they're not doing this right, or they, so I'm not a hardcore Dunophile or whatever the hell they call them, herbertophiles or whatever. Yeah, we saw part 1 on Saturday to prep again for part 2. So I actually, as I said on Sunday, I preferred the length of the movie. I think, as big as the book was, it was going to be difficult. If I haven't. Yeah, there's it's an interesting book series. It's one of that hard science fiction, kind of like the Asimov Foundation stuff. And it's like, when I heard they were doing a Foundation version of the TV show, I was like, I read those 3 books. That's the Asimov, the Foundation series is one of those ones where it's like, you read it and it's like you're never going to read it again. It is dry as shit. A lot of people probably read the first Dune book and then was like, holy shit, what did we do? Because it gets real stupid after, Messiah of Dune and all those. And there's the people that are like, well, if it wasn't written by Frank Herbert, it's not really, part of Dune. His kid ruined the series and that kind of thing. And so, you go watch it if you like it. If you watch the first one, you'll probably like the second one. If you're a Duneophile, you probably won't like anything. So, Lord of the Rings. I liked the Peter Jackson version. I actually am thinking I'm going to say that we're going to be looking at a remake of Lord of the Rings in the next 15 years. somebody will decide they want to recreate Lord of the Rings again. Yeah. I think I listened I didn't listen to the Foundation audiobooks. I did the Dune audiobook, I think. I didn't hate on it. The interesting thing about the audiobooks is the narrator really brings something to the party that if you get a bad narrator, you get a bad reader, it's just god awful. And there's some authors that are like, you can write well, but God, you can't speak for shit, right? I think Neil Gaiman's American Gods was really well done. They did a whole voice cast for it, so it was like a radio show, which was great. Wheel of Time, of course, Robert Jordan's epic, and Brandon Sanderson did some on the back end, but Kate Redding and Michael Kramer, amazing work. As a matter of fact, Michael Kramer's went on and did a lot of Sanderson's books as well in audiobook, which I found interesting, which makes me want to go and listen to Sanderson's stuff now too, which I've actually got a few of those. So yeah. I heard that the BBC did an audio version of that for Foundation. I read the Lord of the Ring books too in high school, and I'm unlikely to. I actually did the Silmarillion in audiobook as well, which would have been a hard read, I think, if you didn't, if I was trying to read it myself. But yeah, I liked Dune. I thought Timothée Chalamet was quite effective as an actor. There's, obviously some the ability to spread it out over 5 or 6 hours instead of like the 2-hour 1980-ish movie. I actually talked with somebody that liked the original with David Lynch instead of this one because it was tighter or what have you. So I was like, wow, that's interesting. I saw your post today, Lady P, when you were like, oh yeah, we didn't have cereal when we were a kid. I had grit, and printing press hadn't been invented when you were in high school. Yeah. That was a tweet where it was like, when you're a kid, all you had to do was read the cereal box. You didn't have a tablet or a phone when you're eating cereal in the morning. So, So, posted up episodes 5 and 6 of The Peerless Gamer. For those of you who are interested in that, I'm still working my way through some of that. So, apologies. It is a little rough. Edits were many because mostly second guessing myself through some of it. So I actually went back through and did a couple of different changes to things to address some issues, and there may be some continuity. Hey, Beta Wolf, what's up? Glad you could be here. So my last stream I did the XCP-ng stuff, which for those of you who are unaware of what XCP-ng was, I did it. It's a Zen replacement, right? Or ESXi replacement, but it's based on Zen. It's on actually Citrix Zen server. And I know I'm showing my LinkedIn screen. There was an article or something that I think the screen got rebooted or something. Somebody had mentioned what? It was Ira Winkler had posted up something about it's funny because he said what I had been saying for a while. He had posted up something that said, hey, I was at a CISO conference and he stepped away from his computer, and somebody walked back and he's like, oh, you left your computer unlocked. Good thing I didn't send emails or whatever. And here it is. Here's the link. So yeah, he said, can we in cybersecurity stop with that stranger so lucky I controlled myself when I left their computer unattended crap? I completely agree with this. I lock my screens out of habit even at home, but security people should not, I don't want to say joke, but they shouldn't, act like they're, it's lucky I'm not a bad guy because I would have totally owned up all your stuff. And it's like, it was an interesting discussion to see him talking about something like this. Being surrounded by security professionals, something's wrong with the security professionals if your threat matrix is high, if you're high threat environment. So, Right, right. If you're, if you've got the urge that you feel like you need to go over and send an email on somebody else's computer, you're a bad guy. So it was just an interesting discussion from him on that, and so yeah, I finished up XCP-ng. I got it installed. I got it running. I got there was another discussion about Proxmox versus XCP-ng, and I looked up, how to, comparing the two between one another. Take this article with a grain of salt, of course, but so when ESXi is going away, the free tier, so you need something potentially to replace that inside your own environment. So I was looking at the pluses and minuses of XCP-ng and Proxmox, and for the business side, both of them have a paid product. Both of them have pricing for, enhancements or things that you can do. Both of them have a community edition, and a lot of the people on our Slack channel love them some Proxmox, I tell you. And mine is, I tried XCP-ng because I had a colleague at work, very smart individual, said it was, easy peasy to set up. And, with the use of Docker, you can set up Zen Orchestrator to administer all of that. I spent the last couple streams trying to get it to work. I had some issues with it not being able to find PDBs, which ChatGPT. So I asked here, yeah. So I asked the question, why am I was getting this error when I was trying to set up my storage repos, and it was, why am I getting this error? Thanks to Digital Warhead, who may or may not be on. Smart person is saying it's easy should always be a red flag. Luckily I'm not a serial killer. Yeah, so Beta Wolf, I'm not a smart person, and it was simple enough that once I figured out my error message, even I was able to do it, right? And so set up my Docker here. The problem that I have with both Proxmox and XCP-ng, because they both offer business options. So if you are in the enterprise and you're running your there we go. You're running the free versions of either of these things in your home lab. You've not changed anything with regard to replacement software. So, XCP next week could go, yeah, we're going to kill our free version of this, that kind of thing. Same thing with Proxmox. They have, oh yeah, we've got this where you can buy for €340 a year. You get access to all of these things, support tickets, enterprise repositories, etc. Proxmox next week could also say, yeah, we're done. We're not going to have a free version anymore. Go pack sand. So there's obviously pros and cons to enabling or using new software. Neither one of which I would consider freemium being completely open source or that, but they swear it's an open source hypervisor, but you're still going to run into the same problem where they're developing this for free, and at any point in time they can pull the plug on whether or not they want to support that free tier or not. And so I think it's great that so Beta Wolf, Digital Warhead had said, he has been using ChatGPT because it gets right to the point. Where is it? So I got this error, and I would search for it in Google, which, as I am prone to do because, back in my day, that's what we used. And I could not figure out what a fucking PBD is. It wouldn't tell me. What is a PBD? I now know that it's a physical block device, which is what it mentioned right here in the system. So once I knew what that was, it was like, oh, okay. The problem that I had when I was trying to put this in was I was using the UUID of the drive itself instead of dev SDA, which it wanted the physical device address for all intents and purposes. It didn't want, dev disk by -uuid / and then big long uuid thing, which is the label on the disk or what have you. It wanted the physical address of where the box existed. So in this case, dev SGA. Once I figured that out, error went away. I was able to install, I think I installed a Debian 10.13 box. I installed a Debian 12 box, and I actually installed a Windows 11 box on Sunday night. So everything is a file. That's right, Lady P. You wanted the block device. Yeah. Well, I know that now. Hey, Age of Music. Hey. Wow, we got people on. I got like people and things and stuffs. Stop. And so start. So, localhost 8080. So, I had everything set up. I'm using Zen Orchestrator through a Docker instance because, it was like, the only way to control XCP was through Zen Orchestra. And the build from source version was like, you must have a functional node connection and you must do all this bullshit. And I was like, oh God, I don't want to pollute my Windows and/or WSL environment with that. And I was like, well, I wonder if somebody's built a Dockerized version of this. And in fact, they did. So you can see all the system that I've got running here. Let me see. There we go. So I've got a Buster 10 version. I have a Windows 11 preview version here. Let's go to the dashboard. You can see my pools that I've got. Where I've got. Here's my networking stats. So you can see my CPU usages going on. Now, to be fair, this is not an enterprise level box. This is not like a Dell system, but. Yeah, very cool. So you can go in and, do an overview and see what kind of visualizations and statistics are available. And, sorry, wait a sec. Okay, good. But yeah, it was, once I figured that out, everything was copacetic. So it all worked out. So, and you can, import new VMs, you can import new other stuff. So yeah. So yeah, and then you can create new VMs from here. So I can select a pool, go in, there's different templates that they give you for that. And so what I was looking at today was I was looking at the options for virtualization because I wanted to blow this away and just put Proxmox on and see what that was like to test out. From what I understand of Proxmox, you don't have to worry about Zen Orchestra, so you don't have separate, management and infrastructure planes. Right now, my Zen Orchestra is on my local box, and it's connected through, an API connection or the Zappy XAPI to the box which is sitting over here, my M930, which will have 32 gigs of RAM in it. Hopefully by the end of the day, if Amazon will deliver my fucking packages. But yeah, I was, surprisingly easy for me. And y'all know how my shit works when I do demos and try to do things with people on a show, trying to do a stream like this. So, and you can go back and watch the last couple episodes on VOD to see those. But so, this is another technology issue that we have where it's like everything's free right now. It could go away in a heartbeat. Broadcom bought VMware. They got rid of the ESXi, right? Boom, done. Market. Somebody buys, Proxmox's company, or they buy the Vate, the Veta, or whatever the hell the company is that runs XCP. No more free tier. Right, and then you'll be back right where we're at. Burp is another one that I've called out in the past. It's like we have an over-reliance on Burp. And if Burp Suite, Portswigger is like, we're going to sell to Cisco, and Cisco's like, I don't want to give out a free Burp tier anymore. We're gonna, and not only top of that, Burp's now going to be $1,000 a license instead of $300. Right. To your point, Beta Wolf. Yeah, I mean the stories have been that people are now spending 10x the cost for ESX instances and things. So, you know, we need to, I don't want to say we, I'm just thinking about the tools you use, and they could go away, right? So try to learn different tools. I'm going to actually, probably Friday, I'm going to tear down this XCP instance and I'm going to put Proxmox on. It might be an exercise in futility. I don't know which one I'm going to like better. I'm okay with XCP right now because it works for me. If I wanted to go in and start up a VM, I can see my storage here. See, this is so these are the storage repos. Here's my big SSD. This is the disk that I had an issue with. And you can tell there's a couple of a couple of VMs on there. And I can start them, you know, just by going to, you know, and shows me what all storage I've got, my stats. I have 916 gigs available. My ISOs are on the hard drive for the computer, so I have to remember to not run out of hard drive space. But I have a couple of ISOs in there too. I have the Windows 11 downloaded ISO and the Debian 10.13. So Lady P, you haven't been around since the 1960s. That's impossible. How many tools are gone? Yeah, I mean, death by Google is a thing, right? Or, you know, they've murdered so many tools that other people have enjoyed. It's, you know, I just, you know, just something to think about. I'm not saying you have to do this, but it's just something to think about. Don't fall in love with any of this junk. It'll be gone the next time you change your underwear. See, you're assuming that I change my underwear every day. I do. Trust me. Yeah. So, but I completely understand. You just have to be flexible, right? But I see a lot of security training and stuff. And it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna learn with Burp Suite, and it's like, what happens if Burp goes away? What are your options? You know. My wife is very fastidious about her laundry. She has let's see, tomorrow's laundry day and Sunday's laundry day. So about every 3 days, I actually could get away with having 5 days of clothing. I have a little more than that, obviously, but yeah. I don't know if I told people this, but I'm not going to London like I thought I was going to be going next week. Decided to not go because I've talked with my new management because we had a realignment, and it was like I could travel from San Diego to London, and then I'm basically going to be sitting in a cube for 8 hours all day, not doing much, and then we're going to go do things in the evening because they'd already had a plan and agenda and everything. And I was like, so how many meetings am I going to be invited to? And they're like, well, we have like 1 or 2 on Wednesday that you'll probably be going to out of the whole week. And I was like, so I'm going to fly to London. I'm going to sit in a fucking cube for 5 days and have 2 hours of meetings with y'all. And then I have to go back to the hotel room for my, you know, Pacific time meetings. So I'm going to be, you know, I'll have to work basically from 8 a.m. London time to like 9 in the evening, you know, if there's some kind of important meeting that day. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. So 2 pair a month. Lady P, I don't think you're doing it right. You're like George Costanza. You just keep doing laundry and you're just throwing stuff out, or you're not even doing laundry. You're just throwing everything out and buying new stuff. Man, we have some engaging conversations in our chat, don't we? So, yeah. Interesting. All right, Lady P. Okay. So, I know that I told people I wasn't going to do this, but I have a specific bent here on this article. So, Change Healthcare, which is a health care system, paid $22 million in ransomware. And my first thought when I read this, they said they paid $22 million to recover access to data and systems encrypted by Black Cat, which Black Cat's also going through some growing pains because apparently they've been shut down by the feds. And a lot of people are saying, yeah, no, hi, we're the feds. We haven't done anything to disrupt their infrastructure. So it's either the feds are lying or the Black Cat Alpha V folks are trying to shutter their operation and take all their hard-earned money and negotiated costs and stuff with them and leave people who've paid for their product out in the cold. So kind of like how Broadcom did with VMware. They're gonna take their infrastructure and all their free stuff and go. What? You're back? Yeah. Well, you get up here. There you go. I know. We're talking about ransomware. I know. So, of course, I made a cheeky comment about, healthcare system can find $22 million to pay off ransomware people, but I bet they couldn't find $5 million to upgrade security controls. I don't know their organization, so maybe they were paying a lot for IT and security stuff. Probably not. What is it? Do I want to click on that link? Hold on. Link preview. Walt, I'm FreeBSD jail, yeah, and Beehive management tools. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm not gonna click on a .re. Oh, Lady P approved it. Okay, Lady P approved. All right, I will. CBSD is a management layer written for FreeBSD. Well, the problem is you have to use FreeBSD. So there's that. CBSD stands for something. CBSD. Okay, so it's C, and then there's the BSD part. Uses Beehive, QEMU, Zen, and NVMM. Oh, okay. Well, it has BSD store, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, why am I going to go buy BSD merch from a store? Because I do have, back when there was a Swiss site that sold like a plush of the OpenBSD mascot, which is actually quite the collector's item, I understand now. So some drugstores are now dispensing drugs without knowing how the insurance companies will pay money to be fixed later. Yeah. Interesting. So Beehive arguments. I see. Okay. Vagrant style. Okay. Easy to use repository with managed environment template. The only thing that gets me is the .ru on the domain. Really makes me not want to download anything from a .ru site. If they have a US site or something, I mean, that doesn't make them any safer. I mean, they could just be pointing to the .ru site for download. Took me a minute to approve it. I went through it in the VM first and then scanned it with malware scanners first. Thank you, Lady P. I appreciate your due diligence in that respect. So, Beehive, Cloud Init. Okay. My only question is how performant it is. I know FreeBSD has things like ZFS. They were one of the first systems to have ZFS that was not Linux based. Which is something I wanted to put on this version of XCP, but it's not officially supported right now. So XFS or ZFS for like pools, because they limit the amount of space for VMs or for certain parts of the system to 2 terabytes, which if you don't have a lot of hard drive space in there, you're not going to be worrying about 2 terabytes of space, but they do have a hard limit of 2 terabytes for your storage on your VMs. Very cool. Okay. Web interfaces to manage virtual environments, see installation on FreeBSD articles. I haven't touched BSD in years. Lack of binding to ZFS. It works transparently on UFS, HammerFS, or any other FS. Some people use Jail or Beehive on cluster file system. Pre-post start-stop hooks. Okay. Wild Age. Yeah, I know Nginx is also a .ru site, but yeah, given the geopolitical somethings that are going on, Linux is no longer a member of the common people. Oh my God, okay, easy there, bruh. Linux is a member of the bourgeoisie, and we're trying to stick it to the man. Yeah, okay, great. I use BSD for NAS for the marketing department. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's you know, I would argue more secure only because it's a bit more obscure, right? Uh, yeah, let me see. Look at the abundance of such powerful decisions as OpenVZ, Docker, Rancher, Kubernetes. Got to fix that. LXD, right? Ceph, GlusterFS, OpenNebula, OpenStack, Proxmox, is pPanel, and others. This is created by commercial companies for Linux and done very well. Yes, 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 yes. We love freedom and independence. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, Beta Wolf, you are part of the bourgeoisie because you use Fedora, which is the devil according to these people. I use Windows, so I'm like, the devil incarnate. So, oh, speaking of Linuxes, where did I post that? I posted it in our Discord, but I also there's a Kubernetes built. Where is it? Yeah, talos.dev. So there's a Kubernetes operating system for Linux. Now, one of my things is I'm always trying to figure out like a really small footprint in Linux that doesn't suck. So I've used Damn Small, I've used Tiny Core, I just installed Puppy Linux the other day in a VM on my laptop downstairs. But this one came up because it has 12 libraries and it's uber tiny. It's like a tiny footprint for Kubernetes. It does not have it doesn't have a GUI, doesn't use SSH. It's all through APIs. Is it good? I don't know. Apparently you can download it. So let's download it. Quick description of Talos. It's immutable, it's atomic, it's ephemeral, yada, yada, yada. And it's really, really tiny. So production clusters, it actually has a system requirements. So control plane is 2 gigabytes of memory. You need 10 gigs of system space and 1 or 2 cores. That's all you need. Recommended is obviously 4 gigs of RAM, which doesn't make it much better than a Debian or an Ubuntu. It's just a bit more. All right, Walt, have a good one. Hope you enjoy Dune. Let me know what you think. So, 4 gigs and 4 cores, not that much difference. But they say the Linux itself requires less than 100 megs of space, but the ephemeral partition is used to store pulled images, container work directories, and so on. So I haven't found a need for Kubernetes yet, but we didn't have... stirred some feelings really there, Beta Wolf. Yes. For those of you who don't know, Dune to popcorn container. It is interesting. Yeah. I can't unsee it. I can't unsee it. I'm just gonna go back over here. Thank you, Age of Music, for saying all the things that we wanted to say. I'm just dying inside here when I saw it online. I was like, oh my god, do the marketing people not understand? I mean, Jesus. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I gotta close the tab. Okay, there we go. I think I'm probably gonna have set this stream to content warning, proto goatsy or whatever. I don't know. I've seen some of the pictures or the previews for the Shai Hulud, and I was like, yeah. Yeah, I couldn't imagine putting my hand in that. It doesn't look like my hand would fit, and I don't buy popcorn anyway, not from a movie theater. I'd rather, smuggle it in, in my trench coat. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're gonna get stuck, and then it's gonna pop. The lid will come right off with your. Oh my goodness. I was often worried that this stream would, I would become gross and disgusting, and I would make comments like that, but I don't have to worry about it right now. Age Music got an interview tomorrow morning. Oh, congratulations! I hope everything goes well. It's out of context theater, Lady P. Ooh, gross! My hand. Come on, I'm doing the twitchy fingers. Come on. What? It's not ready for dinner yet. Come on. Nah, exactly. There we go. Yeah. I think you just like getting on my stream to disrupt things. It's not hard to disrupt this stream. All somebody has to do is ask me a question usually. So, yeah. Gave up on Indeed. Fired 150 apps from ZipRecruiter last week. Oh, very cool. So was it one of those things where it was like, we're gonna, pick these. Lady P's barking at you. Does ZipRecruiter do any better for you there, Age? I mean, you got an interview. You have an interview, but you sent out like 150 and you got one back. That's less than 1%. Maybe they're just waiting to get back to you on the other stuff. I don't know. Yeah. So let me see. I redid one of my friend's resumes, and since he's been using it, 3 interviews. So, Beta Wolf, we have we actually have the guy from Hampton North coming in next week on Tuesday to do an interview. What's his name? Stuart. I can't type. There we go. Stuart Mitchell. There, this guy. So we're bringing this guy on next Tuesday to talk about hiring and recruiting and what have you. He comes highly recommended from our good friend Mr. Noid, Brian Harden, who we've had on the show talking about stuff like that. So yeah, he's looking forward to talking with him and understanding some of the peccadillos of hiring these days. There was actually, I think I posted up on our Slack a job board. Where is it? So if people are looking for a job, it looks like some company called Illumina, which is looking for a product security architect. Thank you, Mike. Here it is. Copy link. Who dat? There we go. There we go. This was a job board that I found that has, and I'll click on it for everybody. It's called 1011, and there's a number of different jobs out there based on, and it's another Indeed or probably LinkedIn, or not LinkedIn, but you can look up information technology and security. So there's a number of things here. Optiv is looking for a marketing manager, operations specialist at ReliaQuest, software engineer, Casada, strategic cyber security technologist, Latin America from Darktrace. Threat hunter at Optiv. So yeah, there's some jobs in here that might be worth a look of people's time if they're interested. But they're hiring all kinds of stuff, so you don't have to tie yourself to any one group, or if you're looking for a change in your status. What? I have to check my email, okay? One of the joys of having new management is they communicate differently than the last manager. So sometimes, yeah, there you go. So yeah, I'm just really happy this actually worked for me and I was able to get it up and running, because I haven't had the most luck with these things in the past. So, but yeah, it's good that there's options. I mean, CBSD looks like another option if if you're able to and you feel comfortable with FreeBSD. I'm not saying it's exactly the same as Linux, but communication style issues are a pain. It's not that there's an issue. Your butt's in the way. Nobody wants to see your chocolate starfish. No, nobody wants to see that. No. It's the way they communicate is a little different. Instead of, me hitting the person up over Slack and having a nice long chat with them, they want to huddle, which that means I have to, audio and video. So I don't want to see your tune, buddy. Oh, God. I can't unsee that now. Okay. Thanks, Age of Music. Oh, my God. Oh, man. She's just running in and out. I think she... Exactly, Age of Music. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. The one good thing is they have access to some nice resources. So I was going into the Feedly that they use for threat intelligence, looking at sites that they follow, and they have a Feedly as well, which I thought was funny. They're like, "Oh yeah, I don't know if you know this thing is called Feedly," and I'm like, "Yeah, I've had Feedly for over a decade. I have the lifetime subscription. I've had it since Google Reader went away in 2005 or 2007 or something like that." So I've been adding to my Feedly here on this, looking for various things, my threat intel feeds and whatever. So oh, CrowdStrike acquired Flow Security. Ooh. Oh, very good. Okay. Agreed to acquire Flow Security, industry's first and only cloud runtime security solution. Okay. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, well, Beta Wolf, at the time, I didn't make a ton of money, and $99 for me was like, oh, God, that's a lot of money. I don't know if I can afford that. And, it was like, it was like $9 a month or $99 for a lifetime subscription. I was like, okay, yeah, I figure in 10 months, if I'm still using this, then it'll be fine. It's working out really well, so. Like asking yourself if you stabbed yourself in the eye socket with a rusty screwdriver before. It's been years since Beta Wolf has stabbed himself in the eye socket with a rusty screwdriver. Well, that's good, I guess. I'm just, yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's one of those things like, it's a long-term investment for anytime you buy something like, what is it? Film Simplified. So, I went and I'm learning DaVinci Resolve, and this site called Film Simplified has a bunch of courses on how to edit audio and video. Agent, how would you stack up Zen against ESXi? I have never used ESXi myself. If Beta Wolf, if you used ESXi at all, or Zen, technically I'm using Zen. I don't think that's what they call it, but so they have, back in November they had a special on all this training that you could get for like, $600 or like $300. So yeah, ESXi now just it used to be free, but now it's oh, hey Wade. By the way, Wade, good friend of ours now. We're sponsored B-Side San Diego, which I think I mentioned it on Sunday, but they had at the time less than 30 tickets. So or 30 badges. I'm sorry, badges available to when you go and get your tickets. And so I don't know if they're out of tickets, but they're not out of tickets. They're out of badges. So I don't know if they're out of badges, but if you go and register, You can, buy any ticket from 15 up to $290, and you may get a badge, you may not. But we're a nice sponsor of B-Side San Diego, and that's because of everybody on the stream here who gives of themselves. So it's nice if you use VMware. Oh, Lady P, you want this badge? I hear it's pretty badass. I think we saw a small discussion of it. I think it's Somerset Recon was doing the badge for us this year, and it's you're basically getting to pick a team, and you're gonna go all Pokemon on it and everything, and you can go and fight one another like playing a game and stuff, and it's pretty badass. And Zen felt like it was built for C-suite. ESXi was built for nerds. Oh. So what you're saying, Zen, is Zen was made to be user-friendly and ESXi was meant to be powerful? Proxmox was built for people who didn't want to deal with either of those things and just want something that works. Yeah, I can believe that. I can believe that. But anyway, to go back to my thinly veiled promo here. We're going to be at SDSU campus on the 30th of March. So there's still tickets available. You can go to the website and grab a ticket and maybe grab a badge if you've got it. V-Mug. Oh, man. Are you sure? Not a lot of training left. Oh, yeah. MT Taggart is also, by the way, shout out to MT Taggart. He's not on Twitch anymore, but I will give him a shout out anyway. Is going to be teaching at our classes at the event if it isn't already sold out. But yeah, there's a number of trainings and things available if you're interested in that. So. If you're not in the San Diego area, obviously you're going to need to, get yourself some hotel room and airfare and stuff. Age, I think Taggart created the Taggart Institute, so he's doing online training with another system. I think he's still on YouTube. MT Taggart YouTube. I think he's doing most of his stuff on YouTube now. So. That is not it. That's a different MT Taggart. Taggart, yeah, here you go. So yeah, looks like he's doing his stuff over here. But he's also he's also cloned himself, so he's, dad and everything. So he's working through some of those. It looks like he streamed about 2 months ago, but he's definitely new dad. So he's still doing the new dad thing. Everyone said, wait, Peter Wolf, wait. Everyone said we could stay at his house. Yeah. The backyard is a mess. Make sure you call before you show up. So just in case I'm not at home and I don't answer the door. Yeah. So if you do, make sure you just call and, yeah. So just make sure you do that first. There it is. Good. There we go. Training. So attacking the models, introduction to adversarial machine learning, Travis Smith. Yeah, there you go. Blue Crab Shells getting started with offensive Rust programming, which I was like, wow, I should take that class because I'm learning how to use Rust. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be one of the goons. So can't do that. And then Intro to Social Engineering with Ed Miro, which is looks like later in the day. It's in a different track. So, but yeah, you get a 2-hour class on Introduction to Offensive Rust programming. So, yeah, go and grab that stuff. There are hotels nearby if you did want to come down, and it's a 2.5-hour flight from Seattle. So I'm just saying that. Oh, 10 tickets left. Okay, so 10 tickets left for the Rust class. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be standing room only. I think this is going to be very successful this year. I'm going to make that prediction right now. The fact that we're almost out of badges and the other two are sold out. Oh wow. Okay. Oh yeah, Beta Wolf. I've had some pet bills recently with Mama Kitty, so I completely understand where you're coming from on that. Ultrasounds aren't cheap, so All right, Age. Have a good night. Yeah, go enjoy yourself and get some sleep, and we'll see you again on whenever you join us. So yeah, appreciate that. So yeah, Taggart's the only one left. So blue crab shells, good times. Yep. Anywho, and so yeah, you can go check out Taggart's YouTube channel. There you go. Grab Taggart's Taggart Institute there. Oh, doink. Yeah, click that bell and do all that stuff and be notified when You can do the same thing for the BreakSec YouTube channel as well. Whenever new video or new content comes up, you can click the bell and ding the subscription and et cetera, and make that happen. So all right, let me double check. I want to see what I've got up on my oh yeah, did Meta ever mention its outage? I got up this morning, I came back from my my walk, and my wife was like, yeah, Meta's got a huge outage, and she was telling me about it, and I was like, oh, I didn't know yet. I was out on my walk. I wasn't, I was doing Pokemon. I wasn't doing any of that, but so they were back up on Tuesday after more than a 2-hour outage caused by technical issue. So somebody on Twitter said it's always DNS, but yeah, I don't know what the root cause was. So disruption started around 10 a.m. Many users saying on rival social platform X they'd been booted out of Facebook and Insta and were unable to log in. Oh wow, National Security Council was monitoring the incident. Wow, interesting. The peak of the outage, more than 500,000 reports of disruptions from Facebook and 92,000 from Instagram. I made the joke that gyms were probably empty because Instagrammers were not able to go work out and post their videos up to Instagram, but it is what it is. Earlier today, technical issue caused people to have difficulty. Well, that's delightfully generic. That is the Meta spokesman said on X. Wow, so went over to interesting. 3.19 billion daily active users. Oh, so that's not a lot. I mean, I'm sorry. The billion is a lot, but the fact that like 500,000 disruptions for Facebook and 92,000 for Instagram, we're talking less than 1 million people, and there's 3 billion daily active users. So, well, Lady P, they couldn't. It was kind of like that one time when AWS went down, US East 1, and they were like, we'd love to post a status page to the status page, but it was in US East 1, and it was blown away when that happened. Yeah. So yeah, several employees said blind they were unable to log into their internal work systems, which left them wondering if they were laid off. Oh wow. We just stopped their paychecks. We just hope they get the the idea and they stop coming to work. Outage was several disruptions of service after the purchase of social media platform. Yeah, it's interesting how they got the dig of X in, even though this is about a Meta or Instagram. Talking about X there, so I'm mad they weren't doing that MMA fight. MMA fight? What Beta Wolf? What's that? Oh, was that what that video with Android Boy? What's his name? Fuck, forget his name. Zuckerberg. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I don't know who would actually win that shit. Is Brian chopping for anyone else or just me? I hope I'm not choppy. Is that what that was? What was? What? I thought that was him clapping. No, I'm not clapping. Interesting. And maybe it's because I was talking shit about, Meta, and they trying to get me offline. Talos requires less than 100 megabytes of space. It's ephemeral partitioning. I want to download this and install it on, to add to the, Inception-like stuff. I would use my Zen installation to install Talos Linux so that I could run Kubernetes on it. Berber versus Zuck. I don't know. How tall is that guy? How much does he weigh? Zuckerberg's height. He's 5'7". Okay, I've got at least 4 or 5 inches on top. I mean, dude comes up to me on this, so he's probably, $120. Let me see. Yeah, I could take him. Yeah, he looks small. Yeah. Yeah, he looks... Maybe he'd just pay me to go away. Pay me a couple $1 million just to not fight him. Stuff. Allegedly, he trains a lot. Allegedly. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, he's a billionaire, so he's got time, right? He's probably got, all kinds of shit he does. All right. I haven't lost my allure on YouTube. I've got 0 followers on there. And posted some videos. You can tell he takes it seriously, just doesn't have the natural skill. Yeah. Well, a lot of times, what is it, like football players take ballet so that they can be a bit more agile? Maybe he's trying to, buff up and look less androidy when he's, all, swole and everything. So one of the other things I want to do with the XCP stuff is, maybe now I can do things like, start up the Rust stuff again, which apparently memory safe languages are all the rage, right? There was a news story about dumping C and C++. Yeah, here we go. I need to work on that too. So Biden administration, so somebody in the Biden administration, not President Biden, calls for developers to embrace memory-safe programming languages and move away from those that cause buffer overflows or other memory access vulnerabilities. Now, I made a joke because one of the suggested memory-safe languages that they had mentioned was Java. And I laughed because I have never heard Java being used in a memory-safe way. So where did they say? Yeah, they mentioned, they mentioned vulnerabilities all the way back to the Morris worm of 1988, Slammer in 2003, Heartbleed in 2014, BlastPass exploit chain in 2023. And they say that the biggest, common denominator of these is the, memory safe, buffer overflows, buffer underruns, that kind of stuff. One, no one in this administration has heard of C, let alone Biden. There's nothing wrong with C that isn't a problem with the programmer. That was kind of my point, Lady P. It's like, it does require some due diligence on the part of the programmers. Security people would love for them to embrace all the security, but when you're compile flag, you're not even using compile flags that would look for things like, or you're doing it, you're suppressing any warnings, or it compiled. I don't have to worry about all those, potential warning issues or anything like that. Yeah, I mean, why are we even allow that door to be opened in the first place? I'm not sure. But yeah, they mentioned Java in here, and I thought that was kind of funny. Somebody said Java is secure as long as you don't, I think our friend Dr. Cowan said, yeah, it's good as long as you don't add any libraries to it. And I'm like, okay, Java is secure as long as you don't do anything with it. It's like you're gonna add all kinds of stuff, right? Yeah. So they mentioned Log4j here. Let's see, where is it? Wow, Java's only mentioned once in here, but somebody else had mentioned on Twitter that Java was one, Rust and Go, and C#, I think, was the ones that they were mentioning. In my day, we built wall, and if it tossed any that didn't ship, right. And I think that if you put wall in, or dash wall, which for those folks that are not aware, compile flag, it's like when you do wall, I believe it turns everything on, like all your secure stuff. Well, it's not showing me anything. Compile time flags here. Yeah, see, optimize, compile, more extensive optimization, more aggressive than O2 with longer compile times. Where the fuck is wall at? Maybe I'm looking in the wrong place. Anyway, yeah, so that's like, you know, turns everything on, all the warnings, everything. And, you know, ideally, nobody wants to see all the crufty shit, because if you compile something and a lot of the code is not yours and you've got error messages, are you going to go back and fix somebody else's code? You know, if it's a module, or if it's like you've copy pasted from another library, you're adding a library that you don't control or have access to. Don't control that. You know, if you've imported a package, for instance, like from Python or something like that, and there's a, you know, you've imported this code and, you know, maybe you don't know how it works. You just know it's a shim for something. You know, you can spend time fixing all the warnings, or you don't ship. And it's going to come down to a business decision on whether or not, and some of it's going to be the business, I think, not just the programmers, but it's going to be a business decision to want to be secure. And I have a feeling it's going to, I don't know if there's an intersection coming, but it's like if the government starts mandating the use of memory safe languages in, say, contracts or what have you, or, you know, if you're filing with the SEC every year that you've been breached in your 10Ks as a result that you're using a lot of non-memory safe languages. Python was also mentioned, I think, as well as one of the memory safe ones. I don't know. There may be additional fines. There may be problems there. I don't know. I don't know what that looks like. And this feels like a very non-binding kind of thing. It'd be like, hey, we really like it if you guys use these things. But yeah, I mean, I appreciate their direction they're going with the executive order that came out a couple of years back about, you know, patching and, you know, updating your cybersecurity profile and reducing vulnerabilities. It all kind of, you know, maybe they're just, you know, picking and, you know, poking at certain things with the idea that eventually, if they keep poking enough, it'll get more secure. I don't know. So, yeah, there you go. Warning options. Thank you, Lady P. What would I do without you? Yeah, see, W fatal errors. So this warns you if there's a fatal error. There's a warns you if there's an error. This will make all warnings into errors, which that would be nice. You know, back in the day, things like OpenBSD, you know, you had to compile it with certain warnings or certain, you know, flags so that you could get those things. And, you know, yeah, pedantic errors, not to be pedantic. Permissive walls. So yeah, this enables all warnings about constructions that some users consider questionable, and they're easy to avoid or modify to prevent the warning, even in conjunction with macros. This also enables some language-specific warnings described in options controlling C++, dialect, and options controlling Objective-C and Objective-C dialects. So, wow, turns on a lot of flags. So you've got W address, aligned new, array compare. Wow, that is a lot of flags. Note that some of the flags are not implied by wall. Some of them warn about constructions that users generally do not consider questionable, but occasionally you might wish to check for. Others warn about constructions that are necessary and hard to avoid in some cases. There's no simple way to modify the code to suppress the warning. Some of them are enabled by W extra. So you put W wall, W extra. So these are the additional extra ones that you can add. Uninitialized, type limits, string compares, size deallocation. I did not doubt you in the least, Lady P, that you do this stuff. So Yeah, a lot of this is hygiene stuff, which we don't applaud when we do this, but I don't know if other languages have this. So, the funny thing is with as we found when we were doing our Rust stuff, there is ways to implement unsafe parameters in the system. So, Rust unsafe. So, we went through the book and it was like, here's the unsafe superpowers. So you can use the unsafe keyword, and that was my point, is like, yeah, you make people use Rust, and the first thing they're going to put at the very top of every one of their, Rust, .rs files is they're going to start every RS file with this, right? They're going to start with unsafe, and then everything inside there is going to be unsafe because, they can, because they don't want to miss anything. But yeah, it's I think it's going to come from academia. I think we're going to have to, impress upon, the CS degrees and the developers and the boot camps and everything that, we need to be embracing safer programming, hygiene, maybe dissuading certain programming languages. I don't think we'll ever get away from C and C++ because there's still a use for it, right? And you can't exactly deprecate it. It's being used in a lot of old tech that people are going to have to understand. Wait, what? I'll click on this shit. What is this? Blazingly fast memory vulnerability is written in 100% safe Rust. Oh, well, there you go. All right. CVERS allows you to introduce common memory vulnerabilities such as buffer overflows and seg vaults into your Rust program in a memory safe manner. Why would I want memory over? My brain hurts. We used to do that, but instead the Silicon Valley types decided we wanted to fail fast. Right, fail fast, fail forward. We'll patch it, 100 builds a day. Oh, we fucked something up here. Well, another build's going to come out in 20 minutes or, whatever. Yeah. Writing clean code takes time and expense, right? So, yeah. You ever thought about failing forward with a car? What if they were failing forward with the car? With CVRS, you can crash prod in a blazingly fast manner. I'm assuming this is like a joke GitHub, but it is pretty funny. And wow, okay, nice CVE art, by the way, or ASCII art. It's called a Tesla. You aren't too wrong there. I've not had any issues with my Tesla, but it's all of these work. Okay. Segfault, unoptimized code. Segfault core dumped. Let's run Segfault. You can program a lot of useful things, ensuring your program will stay safe. Unfortunately, safe Rust is quite limiting. For example, you cannot introduce code that could corrupt the program's memory. With CVERS, you can corrupt your program's memory without corrupting your program's memory. Okay. That is why CVERS uses deny unsafe code in the entire code base. There's not a single block of unsafe code except for some tests. Oh my God. This is... Yeah, it's incidental corruption. Yeah. Yeah, that's not good. This is dangerous because, somebody will use this code, and that sucks. That really sucks. Oh, fucking WASM. No. Die in a fire, WASM. Die in a fire. Oh, my goodness. I guess it just goes to show you, no matter how safe you are, it'll always... And they're adding to it. Great. They're adding to... Hopefully people aren't actually using these code repos in here. Hannah Montana Linux support. Okay. Yes. That's pretty funny. yeah, that's some good stuff. So, oh my goodness. Okay. Back in my day, we understood our code so well we would hand optimize the machine code output by the linker. Individually, I understand all of those words, but together, my brain hurts. So. I just find it interesting that people are taking, I don't know, maybe it's my, maybe I need to adjust the onion on my belt as is the custom and as was worn at the time, but the ability to show people how to write poor code, you don't have to do that. It's automatically there. So at some point, I do want to get everything back up and running and start learning Rust again. I have a feeling that it's going to be very helpful, and especially at my job, because I have a feeling we're going to be building some stuff in Rust. So it would be nice to be able to understand and, be a little different than most TPMs that I know that are there. Compilers aren't perfect. You can get additional performance or fix compiler bugs, but understand the output machine code at the lowest level and then tweak the machine code got you reliability and speed. Right. And maybe this time when I go through Rust, I won't try to make an OS with it. That was a little much for me. So, did I hear something about being nice? I don't know. Did I say that? If I did, Let's see, Rust examples, memory safe. Yeah. Right. As you can see, I read the buffer overflow, attempting to overflow the buffer. Doesn't work. Main panicked, out of bounds. Length is 5, but index is 5. Right. I think the whole idea with the unsafe programming language is it feels like what they're trying to do is make it so that you're isolating the unsafe areas. So if you're going to be dereferencing something, or you're going to be the art of unsafe. This book is incomplete. Dark Arts of Unsafe Rust. Huh, interesting. I didn't know they had this side here, so. There we go. High-level companion to the reference exists syntax and semantics of every language. Should be noted we haven't synced the Rustanomicon and reference as well, so they may have duplicate content. Okay. Safe versus unsafe. Yeah. So I guess it's good to see that, but I guess in a good in a normal environment, you're going to use the unsafe parts, and then if something does pop up inside of your code base, or somebody finds a vulnerability, hopefully you would be able to use the unsafe and the safe sections to be able to go, okay, let's go look and see if there's unsafe areas and what it's trying to do, and protect yourselves against that. So, and you can cut down on the amount of auditing, because you can go, well, we can go look in this unsafe area and see if that's where the issue is, or if there's someplace else. So I'm gonna shut that. There we go. Oh God. But yeah, so yeah, they have a lot of compile flags for C. That's nuts. Let's see what else. Sudo nice 19 sleep 500. Did you put Beta Wolf in timeout? He can't talk. Yeah, there we go. Put him in timeout for 500 seconds. There you Two highlights into life care. I saw some training the other day. Did I add that to the Slack channel? Where was that? No, not down detector. No, I'm just kidding. Where was that? Sudo in Windows. No. Threat intel. No. Maybe I didn't put that on the list here. Mm-hmm. Looking to see. I had gotten some free, not programming, but training that was covered somewhere, and I did not keep track of it. Let me go check my history. Pretty sure I pulled everything. Let me see. Recently closed tabs. Film simplified. No. Orchestrator. Okay. So what's on the agenda for the rest of the week for everybody? Are anybody doing anything terribly important? Superconducting magnets, yes. DocuSign, yes. Broncos released Russell Wilson. That's good, Lady P. Get them babies put in bed. They can, get comfy. Well, Lady P, you're prepping for something that's going to take a lot out of you for the next couple weeks. So yeah, I hope you're getting everything ready to go for that. Why is building a UI in Rust so hard? Well, that was close. That was close. I surely thought I had a copy of that somewhere. Dang it. There's some training on like offensive security stuff that I was looking at, and I was like, oh, hey, I should keep a hold of that. And then I think I had to reboot my box because OBS crashed on me on Sunday. So I had to reboot my box when I was done. Dang it. No, Kardashev, type 1 Kardashev megastructures, no. APOM thumbnails, no. Well, damn, I had some training that somebody had given me that I was going to post up in here, but I can't seem to find it right now, so. Cool, all right, well. Yeah, a lot of Zen Orchestra stuff. I'm getting back. Yeah, I've lost it. It must be on my other laptop or something. Cool. Well, I would suggest if you are willing and able to go over and you can check out all of our content on YouTube. And there it is, VR channel. There it is. Got a pretty icon and everything there. And yeah, so I'm working on episodes 7 and 8. I'm trying to get up the gumption to record some more Peerless Gamer stuff, which I may do this week. And yeah, I think I'm gonna go. Let me see if there's anybody online that we can hook up with a raid real quick here. Let's see, Maker Deck and Sid Heresy, Just Devon. Oh, Blacks and Cybersec. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do that one. Blacks and Cybersecurity. Okay, that's not what I was looking for. Cybersecurity. There we go. All right. Go join them on their stream. And yeah, I'm going to be back on Friday. I think I'll probably do some Rust, or maybe I'll blow away this and put Proxmox on. We'll do some proof of concept stuff there as well. So hope. Okay, 1 second. I do not know why. Here we go. Okay. And go. Oh, that's what I do. Okay, there we go. Raid. Oh, I can't raid. Oh, they've turned off raiding. Oh, well, that's interesting. All right, well, I'm gonna go then. I would suggest if y'all wanna go see a conversation here, go follow them. They're having a good discussion. Oh, I see a couple of folks on there that I know. And yeah, go check them out. Otherwise, we'll just hit up MakerDeck. I have to go help make dinner, so there we go. Yeah, so Blacks in Cybersecurity is good. Go check them out as well. But I'm gonna go raid MakerDeck. So have a good rest of your day. Take care. Stay warm. Stay safe. Stay dry. And we'll see you on Friday, y'all. Bye.